guess, personally, like it was during the revolution? Especially in reference to this question.
What it feels like right now is, this is different. Okay. Yeah, this is different. I could explain a few differences if you got the time. Okay, first of all, during the revolution, you know, we say, well, we seek that refuge from anxiety and grief, lack of strength, and things. Okay. When the revolution first happened, for us as African Americans, we had just came to Islam. Now, the majority of the Muslims did not go with us. That was even lonely then.
Right.
Of course, we turned out to be right.
Right.
The ones that was with Iranians was tattletales, 95%. I ain't gonna say 100%, that's just exaggerating. But they was tattletales and stooges. Did it hurt the revolution? Absolutely not. The first part of the revolution, when I was going somewhere and driving, what I was visualizing was Imam Hussein and martyrdom. This is 40 years ago, almost, up into 30 years. It was martyrdom. I mean, I would visualize in the street with a machine gun, battle gear on, fighting the police. You know, I was visualizing that. That's what I visualized. That's what I thought about. I thought about martyrdom. I thought about all those things that we were dealing with, because that's what was getting everybody by. In a revolution, remember our old writings back 25 years ago, was revelation and revolution. Revelation and revolution. We done moved from revelation and revolution to revelation and evolution. So we don't see our part as anything like that. Well, we didn't discuss how we see our part. Plus, there's no anxiety like, I'm not saying we know this happened, but we feel certain that we have yaqeen and all the stuff we've been talking about. Yaqeen, certainty. And I mean human certainty. With human certainty, we're certain that all this stuff is going to happen. We're certain that this stuff is going to happen. Okay. In those days, that's the beginning. The revolution had no guarantee, no stamp of approval. So we were concerned about the revolution. Until it went to, for then, export of the revolution meant that we'd pass out flyers and give them to everybody. They would become revolutionaries, and that would solve the problem. Okay. Iran becoming a model. It has become that. But we thought of it in different terms, a little different terms. So now, see, when we talk about evolution, it's our own personal evolution tied to the international evolution, to the movement. The movement has to, the things that we're talking about, we believe these are necessary ingredients. That don't mean we're 100% right, but we're headed in the right direction. And we're open to cooperation and confrontation. We're open to cooperation with the Muslims. The cooperation with the Muslims is the most deadly confrontation you can have with the system. Right? Tell the truth.
Right.
It is the most deadly on any and all levels. But for the question, this is a time of Yakin. Like we're not anxious about this period. Like maybe we should be, but personally, I'm not. Even then, it was not anxiousness that caused you not to do what you, but it was, say, out of 100% is anxiety. It was definitely 20% anxiety. But we channel that anxiety to make it work for us. Right now, is stability. Is platform and policy development that people can understand. When we said we're going to recruit from the jury, that's true. I ain't going to hardly talk about none of what they got me charged with. I'm going to talk about what we talked about, what the people are hearing in the news, what the people, and what it means. And then I may come back to say, now, with all that going on, why the hell they got me charged with what is this damn stupid ass, excuse me, what is this dumb stuff they got, what is this ridiculous stuff they got, right? It's ridiculous, right? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is my defense, absurdity. These people are absurd. The district attorney is absurd. The police is absurd. The people that engineered all of this with them, all of them is absurd. They're absurd. They are absurd. And it's clear. That's going to be fun. Can you imagine you get a chance to tell the global story and nothing can happen to you? The worst scenario, which I don't won the case already. I'm going to let the jury know that I won the case before, same stuff. I can't lose it. But suppose I did. They could give me a $35 ticket. They could give me a $35 ticket. That's what they could give me. That's what they could do. That's what they could do. Suppose they want to give me a time. 5 days in jail. I'll just go in there and fast. Something like that. They can't. Can you imagine? Just think about this. Some way this has been engineered. When they talk about win-win, it's all win for us. They can't do anything. I can't lose nothing. And eventually I'll get all the stuff that I'll get it back. And so what? You want it? Keep it, sucker. We'll raise $50 million. That's what we're on the verge. We're getting ready to go to work. If those people that you communicated with are down in Texas, don't answer, we don't care. We gave them their chance just like care. We don't need them for nothing. That sounds arrogant. We don't need them. We don't need care. Everything is proof we don't need them. And we don't care about y'all. We have what we are working on is developing right as we sit here and talk. 2020 vision, how long we've been talking about that for? A long time. It's not a new subject, but it's being honed and da-da-da-da-da. In the meantime, we're doing what we, no, we don't have to worry about, this is not like the period of the revolution. It's bigger, but it's not the same. Fikar, confidence, Yakin. Remember, we done already went through all the blows. So we was worried, suppose they did this, suppose they did that. Well, we done already dealt with all of that years ago. So no, it's not,
You
Yeah.
answered, I appreciate that. I was just coming from the perspective that, and you answered it, that you made the right decision and others chose not to.
right?
And it seems like, based on the brother's question, because the whole Shia thing is always in the air, it seems like with certain aspects of the Ummah.
You know what? If that's what they think, technically, who cares?
Right.
Who cares? I mean, the last thing I'm going to do is explain to somebody about what I am and what I'm not. You want to see what I do? You just look at it. And Takia, are you so tough and so mean that I have to hide what I'm doing to you, nigga? Is that what you're saying? Right? No, there's another element. That crew that we saw the other day, with them, Shiism is at the top of the list. They're over here spreading ancient Shia doctrine, which is not unity. You didn't see no Sunnis there at the program. That was the highlight of every program was a Wahda program, was unity. Right?
Right.
They didn't have no Sunni speakers. When Imam died, they used to have a slogan in Iran. Magbar Amerika, Magbar Shuravi, Magbar Hujati. Hujati is those type of Shias. They wasn't with Imam. It's a huge number of them. Huge. Walayati Faqih, the Shias that want to just beat their chests about Imam Hussein and not implement Imam Hussein's policies and his attitude and all that, the majority of Shias are stuck back there. I'm not going to mention no names, but history is bringing them out of it. Ayatollah Khamenei is the Rahbar. He had to earn that. When he became the Rahbar in '89, first of all, he told them, I think y'all making a mistake here. I'm not going to accept. Now, Rafsanjani, he was the head of the parliament. He says, I heard Imam Khomeini say Ali Khamenei would be good for that. Imam Khomeini, something came up in '86, and the Rahbar, the president at that time, Ayatollah Khamenei, he said, well, he was Hujjatul Islam. He said, da-da-da-da-da, and Imam Khomeini said, you should shut up. You don't know nothing about Vilayat Faqih. I don't know if y'all ever heard that. That's what Imam Khomeini said to him in '86. Not out of I'm mad at you, but something had come up about Wilaya, and Imam Khomeini was clear, and Imam Khomeini, Ayatollah Khamenei said da-da-da-da. But now, and whether somebody hears this or not, It's my belief that the Rahbar has surpassed Imam Khomeini. Not in ilm, but in management, organization. During Imam's time, when he came back, he had absolute authority, but he made everybody work together or solve the problems himself because he knew he wasn't going to be here that long. The Rahbar, when it hit me like a ton of bricks, was June 19th, 2009, when he made that big speech. If you don't see it, just type it up on the internet and listen to it. The speech he made, remember they just had a demonstration the other day in Iran. Might have been even yesterday, in support of the 2009 transition where Karoubi and Musa and them made all the problems.
Right.
In fact, they're still both under house arrest. Well, they just had a demonstration in support of Vilayat Faqih, or let's call it the government. The government of Iran has never had more support than it has now. It has never had, see, everything that happened and everybody in Iran, if the president would have told the people a few months ago, we're going to raise the prices because of such and such and such, and we're going to do this, that, and other, they wouldn't have had that little uprising. I don't know whether he was doing it on purpose. You never know. I'm telling you, you don't never know. These guys those people are playing for keeps. When you get way up in politics, you're playing for keeps. Your life is on the line. So whoever's president and foreign ministers and da-da-da-da-da, they playing for keeps. They may look sissified and all that, but I've watched them. They follow the script. Whoever send the script down, they follow it. And I tested them over 100 times. I know they follow it because there's certain things in there, following that script, that if I was who I was and they were who they was pretending to be, they couldn't do some of those things. They couldn't do them. Do they know who I am? They sent the little guy with me down there to the place I was born, a little place in Arkansas. He took pictures. I talked to him. I was down by the bayou showing him this is where we used to swim, and I was asking the guys, that the old white man come out of the woods driving a tractor like. And he said, well, my name is so-and-so, and I asked him all the questions. And he named all the old white folks when he was little. You remember WWS? I said I've heard that name in 70, 80 years, 70 years something. WWS. Ben Word. You know, all them big white folks from they wasn't that big because it was a little town. But he was sitting there filming all of that. So they know about me, that accident. The black school, the colored school was over there with him, yeah, but they tore it down. Then he told me, he looked at all the land. First he said, he hinted that if you want to talk to somebody, my mama's at home, she's 88 years old. And she remembered, I asked him, did you remember our family? He remembered the name and all that. And so we had a good conversation. But they was sitting there, he was sitting there filming all that. They have all that. They ain't got no nigga in the country that took nobody all over everywhere and showed them they got everything they need to know that I am the genuine article. And that there's no gap in nothing. And you can't find no gap, and if you find it, let's hear what you got to talk about. Okay, so they know. On the question of madhabism, I tell everybody, I don't have a madhab. They got Malikis, Halafis, Shafis, all of the people. I don't have to follow them, but in a way I follow all of them, because I pray the way I was pray because that's what I learned, how I learned how to pray. I have found no other reason to pray any different, right? Okay, I got lucky years ago. Do you know there's a book called Al-Hadith? You ever seen that? The old book come out of India a long time ago, back in the 30s. There's a section in there, I think in volume 3 or 4, about a family of saints that talk about Ahlul Bayt. I gave a lecture on that from all Sunni Hadith, and the Shias put it on their website back in 2004 or something. You might remember it, I call it Ahlul Bayt. Okay, all that was from Sunni traditions. The Shias heard it, and they bought it up, put it on their website. You know why? It said the same thing. And no Shia hadith in there, not a single one. You didn't hear no Shia, it was all Sunni hadith. So the only reason we didn't know nothing about Ahlul Bayt, because nobody never told us nothing about it, and they kept it kind of quiet. But I got lucky a long time ago to read that, and I just accepted it as part of the other hadith, just like this is just hadith. And the hadith was there. If they was from Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Abu Dawood, and all of them, Sahih Sita, I accepted them according to their classification. Muttafaq alayha, all of them agree on that, so I said the hadith is good. Some of the hadith, daif, they're a little weak. I might mention them, but I don't accept them. I won't make no guideline for here off of those hadith, because they're a little daif. You could follow it yourself, but you can't press nobody else. That's the rule. Anyway, for the first part of the question, I feel